Well, everyone, we're going to get started. Certainly, if you're still enjoying your brunch, please go ahead and continue to do so. I just want to introduce for you today President Ashish Vaidya. You know, I really always do believe you kind of know how important things are by who attends from the university administration, and not only attending but giving some welcome remarks. President Vaidya comes to us from St. Cloud State. He's been here now, arrived in late summer, and has just done a tremendous job. Everywhere he goes, as evidenced this weekend, great crowds at our Alumni Awards dinner on Friday night in the Recreation Center. Wonderful turnout last night for our men's basketball win over Oakland University, which always makes homecoming week a great weekend. And then an after party last night at Braxton Brewing. But we certainly welcome you, President Vaidya, and if you come forward and make a few welcome comments, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
We're going to adjust this down for people like this. Well, good afternoon. It's almost a few minutes. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for all of you for coming. What a great way to end our homecoming weekend with the culmination of inductees into the Athletics Hall of Fame, including our own Coach Hart, who's going to be here in a few minutes. Just a great thing. As Ken mentioned, it's been about 7 months for me in this area, and everyone keeps asking me, how's it going? And usually my response is, you know, I'm not the best person to ask that question. You have to ask the people around me, because I might think it's going great, and then everyone's like, oh my God, this is crazy. But I have to say, this is an incredibly special place, which is so evident from the support from the community, from the campus, from the region, from all around, especially our alumni. To me, that's the hallmark of knowing how good an institution is doing. We're a young university, only 50 years old, just a little over 50. As my wife likes to remind me, the university is younger than I am. But it's how engaged your alumni are that makes the difference between a good university and a great one. And I really feel, having had a chance to meet so many of you in many venues, all of you have a couple of common themes that you say to me. Number one, if it weren't for NKU, you wouldn't be where you are. And of course, what a difference this institution has made to you. And what that means to me is not so much about the facilities as much about the people that make this place so incredibly special. So if I may, I want to just take a moment of privilege and have all the coaching staff and any of the faculty and staff who work at NKU, please stand and take a moment to be recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people that make this place incredibly special. They've all been extremely welcoming to me personally, and of course they make the lives of our students so enriching by what they do on the court, in the classroom, wherever they are. So I feel truly privileged and honored to be here with you, and of course to offer you welcome. So thank you for being here, and of course, go Norse.
Thank you, President Vaidya. I would also like to recognize just a couple of groups before we get the program started. We have an awesome, wonderful committee that really does spend a lot of time looking through a lot of names. The wonderful thing about Northern Kentucky University is, in a short period of time, remarkable success in athletics, and some unbelievable student athletes who have represented us for a number of years. And so I would like each of our committee members who served on this year's committee that was able to make it today, would you please stand to be recognized? Thank you so much. We really do appreciate your efforts. And then any past Hall of Fame members, if you would please stand. The current, I guess, Hall of Fame members, if you would stand, that'd be great. Thank you. Thank you. in a day that I really do believe goes back to one of the most special days that an athletic department can have. And that is recognizing those individuals or teams who have had such a wonderful impact on the history of a university and certainly an athletic department. I certainly want to congratulate all of you who are being inducted into today's Hall of Fame. Katie, Lauren, Liz, Nate isn't with us today, Rose and Jenna. Wonderful accomplishments. When you lay them out in comparison to all of the wonderful student athletes we've had here, your accomplishments certainly stick out. And that makes, from an athletic department, a wonderful expression of how good and how talented you were. So congratulations to you, to a special day. Thank you to all the family members who came and former alumni who came back. We really do appreciate your involvement and commitment to our ongoing effort to the future of athletics at Northern Kentucky University. So, thank you. I guess we'll get the program started. Coach Nancy Winston, a Hall of Famer herself, will come up.
Thanks, Ken. Good afternoon, NKU. It's great to be here on a great day Hall of Fame. Just so you know, I do have a call to my priest to find out discounts mass. I'll let you know if I hear from him. Today it's my honor and privilege to introduce Kate Kelsey Cluxton. I met Katie back in 1994. She was a junior in high school at Roger Bacon. Roger Bacon at that time had a great girls basketball team, and Katie was the starting point guard for that team. Our program, we were good. We had been great, but we were pretty good, but not great at that time. So we wanted to be great again. And that year, we had 5 freshmen coming in as our recruiting class. Katie was one of them. Katie's teammates, Chris Camramp, Shannon Roddy, Julie Stanley, Shannon Smith, and of course Kate, made up a nucleus that was that would become the start of, I think, a special time in NKU women's basketball. Kate on her high school team, when I watched her play, we knew we needed a point guard. And when I watched Katie play, she to me was the one I wanted. I don't know if I ever told her that, but she was the one I wanted. Their team, they were very good. They had shooters, they had scorers, they had inside-outside attack, they had a great coach in Tom Singleton. And Katie, to me, was the straw that kind of stirred that drink. She was an excellent defensive player, a great ball handler, a very good passer, had tremendous court vision, and scored when she had to, and really understood what needed to be done and how to run the team. As a point guard, just in any position, if you're soccer, you have a key position that I think is important. If you're a volleyball coach, there's a key position. If you're a football player, of course, your quarterback is a key. And basketball, the point guard position, I think is very important. And as I said before, you have to be able to pass the ball, you have to have great ball handling skills, you have to be coachable, obviously. You have to be, in my opinion, an exceptional defensive player. And you have to be a little bossy. And I will tell you that I thought Katie, you may not believe it today when you meet her, but Katie could be a little bossy on the basketball court, which was exactly what I wanted her to be. When she first came to us, I gave Katie my ball. I gave her my basketball. And if you're a coach, you give a kid a ball, that means something. That says, I trust you. And her first year, her and I, we had our ups and downs because I wanted her in my head, and my head is not necessarily a good place to be. And I wanted to be in her head, and she wanted to be in my head. You have to be able to think alike because basically your point guard is your coach on the floor. And the first year and a half, we had our ups and downs. But I played Katie. Even though we had a lot of juniors and seniors that actually were with our team, that were perimeter players that could play the point guard, that's the kind of feeling I had for Kate, because I just really felt like she could be the straw that would stir our drink and help us get to where we wanted to go. And where we wanted to go was we wanted to be great. Her intangibles were leadership, competitiveness, again, ability to handle adversity. And in tough situations, Katie was just very much able to do that. Her teammates, I think, thought the world and all of her. Katie was a leader without ever telling them that she was a leader. It just was who she was. Defensively, she would guard anybody. She would want to guard anybody. There would be 6'3" players out there, and she would say, "Hey, coach, put me on her. Coach, put me on that kid." I can remember in the finals of our conference tournament down in Evansville, Indiana, we were playing, I think, Bellarmine, and the game started, and Tuke Farber gets beat. Kate runs past me and says, "Put me on Tuke's kid." I said, "Okay." Kate, guard Tuke's kid. Next time down the floor, 2 times down the floor, Tuke Farber's second person she's guarding, she gets beat. Kate says, "Put me on that kid." So the whole game, Kate's wanting me to switch you off. Finally, I said to Kate, "Kate, you can't guard everybody." But I do believe she probably felt like she could have. Her ability, again, defensively and to run a team was rewarded, because I believe in I try to go back to all the years I coached, and I was head coach here for 29 years, and I don't believe I ever had a player who in their sophomore year was a team captain, other than Kate. And for us, we never voted for captains. I never let them do that. I didn't want it to be a popularity contest. I basically said, "You're my captain. And if you're going to be my captain, this is what I expect you to do." So Katie's sophomore year, she was the captain of our team. And that was quite an honor, because as I said, I don't believe that we've ever have had anybody else be a captain. Her impact on our program goes beyond her 4 years, because Kate, the thing about a point guard I think that is special is, this is the thing about Kate, she understood who was supposed to get the ball. And you know, when you're in a sport and you don't have kids that understand that, you're in trouble. And Katie understood who was supposed to get the ball. And when she needed to score, she scored. But she knew that Shannon Smith was supposed to get the ball. She knew that Tuke Farber was supposed to get the ball. She knew that Katra was supposed to get the ball. She understood that. And that says, what that says about her is understanding team and understanding what it takes to be successful. Because Kate just wanted to win. She didn't care whether she got the accolades or not. She's the all-time leading assist in the history of NKU women's basketball, which is a tremendous thing to be. She's probably played more minutes than anybody, or as close to as many minutes as anybody, which is a tremendous thing as well, simply because of the success over the years of our program. But the legacy that she puts, her team, her teammates, and this is a big part of Kate, they set the standard for what was. And even though Kate's team never won a national championship, got pretty close, made it to the finals, or semifinals of the regionals in the NCAA tournament, and in Arkansas. Even though we didn't win, they set the tone for what was to come in the future, about how teams were supposed to act, how teams were supposed to play, how teams were supposed to work, and she was a very big part of that. And to, you know, I really, that group of girls, we owe them a tremendous amount of thanks and gratitude, and Kate obviously is one of those. In addition to Katie coming to Northern, you got an extra perk, you got the Kelsey family. And the Kelsey family, any of you that know the Kelsey family, when you get a Kelsey on your team, you get the Kelsey family, whether you want them or not. No, but that's a good thing. And I will tell you that over the years, as a coach of Kate, you know, I was always privileged to have them be part of what we did and part of where we were. And I do believe also that somewhere in the past, Mike Kelsey was a basketball coach, her daddy, because the man knows the game probably as well or better than anybody I know. So it's my privilege and honor to welcome number 21 into the Hall of Fame, Katie Kelsey.
those of you who know me, public speaking is not my favorite thing. I actually put Speech 101 off until the last semester of my senior year. I also knew, inviting Coach Winstall to be the person that introduced me, that she would probably take up the allotted time for both of us to be up here. So I want to thank her again for introducing me. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me to be inducted into the David Lee Holt NKU Athletics Hall of Fame. It is such a prestigious honor, and I'm so grateful for the recognition. I'm so happy to join so many NKU greats in the Hall of Fame, including my husband Paul, my little brother Walt, Coach Winstall, my teammates Michelle Cottrell, Michelle Tuffarter, and Shannon Smith. I'd also like to congratulate all of the other inductees on their successful careers here at NKU. It is such an honor to be up here with all of you today. I was so lucky to have the opportunity to play basketball here at NKU. When Coach Winstall offered me the scholarship, I couldn't sign on the line fast enough. I was probably one of her easiest recruiting jobs of her career. I actually signed my letter of intent without stepping foot on campus. It was a little backwards for sure, but it couldn't have worked out better for me. I was able to stay close to home, play for a great coach, have a successful career, and meet my now husband. Thank you, Coach Winstall, for the opportunity and for believing in me from day one. I also want to thank my family for being my biggest fans back in the day when I was playing and for being here with me today. My mom and dad who didn't miss a game, my siblings and their spouses, my aunts and uncles, Paul, and my 5 kids. I love you all. Some other people who shaped my career that I want to thank are Jane Meyer, Coach Shields, my assistant coaches, Coach Weedy, Coach Gramke, Coach Neal, and managers and trainers, and lastly, my teammates. I truly have the best memories looking back at my time here at NKU. And I have my amazing teammates to thank for that. Whether it was preseason conditioning and timed 3-mile runs, 6 a.m. Friday workouts, road trips on the bus, hanging out in the dorms, or playing in the Final Four, we really did have the best times ever. I hold the assist record here and had a good career as a point guard because of the players that I was surrounded by. They made my job easy and made me look good. So thank you to all of my teammates, especially the ones who are here today. Again, I just want to say thank you for this awesome recognition and induction into the NKU Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to all the inductees on amazing careers at NKU. It's well deserved that your talents and efforts are being recognized today. I'd like to say a few words about Lauren Peeney. Lauren graduated from Anderson High School in May of 1998 and joined the team in the second year of our program. Lauren was a 3-sport athlete at Anderson, successfully participating in soccer, basketball, and softball. Lauren was tall with incredible range and goal, exceptionally athletic and quick. She had outstanding reflexes and agility, a tremendous vertical leap, and she had excellent hands. She also exuded confidence, which is a critical mental component for a goalkeeper to possess. We had high hopes for Lauren, and she certainly delivered. Lauren immediately became the starting goalkeeper in her freshman year, leading her team to a 16-3-3 record. As a second-year program, her team won the GLVC tournament by beating the number 1 and the number 2 ranked teams in the region in the GLVC semifinals and finals. The following season, Lauren was a huge part of the team, which won the GLVC conference tournament and advanced to the NCAA Final Four in just our 3rd year as a program. She led her team to a 22-3 overall record. That team began a 5-year, 73-match undefeated streak in conference play. Lauren set the Division II national record for shutouts with 16 shutouts that season. In her junior year, 2000, she led her team to an undefeated GLVC regular season championship, a GLVC tournament championship, and an NCAA National Division II runner-up finish. Her team finished with a 21-2-2 record. Lauren left NKU after her junior season to tend to personal matters. A few years went by, and we reconnected in an alumni event one spring. Lauren had 1 year of eligibility remaining, and she elected to return to NKU. She returned to play in 2004 and had another phenomenal season, leading her team to the GLVC championship match in an NCAA tournament regional final, while allowing only 11 goals all season. Lauren was a vocal leader and organizer as a goalkeeper and played with tremendous passion and emotion. Lauren could always be counted on for making not just the so-called routine plays, but she regularly came up with the big saves that kept her team in the match or sealed the victory. Lauren was a 4-time All-GLVC selection. She was named to the All-Region team 3 times, and she was named an All-American in 2000. Lauren is still currently tied for 4th in the NCAA Division II record book for single-season shutouts with 16, and she's 4th nationally in career shutouts with 46. She's 1st in almost every goalkeeper category at NKU. She was a 4-year starter on a team which compiled an overall record of 74, 12, and 9 in her 4 years, and 83% winning percentage. Lauren's teams won 2 GLVC regular season championships, 3 GLVC tournament championships, and played in 3 NCAA tournaments. Lauren never allowed more than 14 goals in a single season, each of her 4 years, which is an absolutely phenomenal record of consistent excellence. Lauren always possessed a high energy level and always displayed tremendous enthusiasm. Lauren always brought a strong work ethic, intensity, and was driven to excel. Please join me in congratulating Lauren Peeney on her induction into the NKU Athletics Hall of Fame.
Thank you. All of those things he said about vertical leap don't exist now. Please don't stick to that. I'm going to try to get through this without crying. I'm an emotional person as is, but I'm also pregnant, so good luck to all of you. I'm truly humbled and honored to be here amongst such greatness. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me for such a prestigious honor. Thank you so much. I would not be here without the love and support of so many people who helped me along the way. Thank you to NKU and the entire athletics department, from Jane Meyer, who was here when I first started in '98, to now Ken Buthoff, overseeing a Division I powerhouse athletic program. Thank you to my coach, Bob Sheehan, who made me part of the first recruiting class of the women's soccer and taking a chance on someone who had really only been playing goalkeeper for 2 years. We had great times together, and there's so many I can't even remember, although we've been reminiscing throughout the day here, from hospital trips when I thought I was having a heart attack to it really just being indigestion, to the countless number of road trips we took together in the bus driven by Roger. Although we would butt heads from time to time, because while I am confident, I'm also loud and stubborn, you never gave up on me, even so much as to bring me back after a 3-year absence to allow me to play my senior year. Your ability to recruit, coach, and retain top talent speaks volumes of your passion and abilities, and I have no doubt you'll be standing on this stage being inducted one of these days. Thank you also to Adam Meyer, who's not here. He was my first ever goalkeeper coach, and to Terry Gruel, who became my goalie coach my sophomore year and helped push me each and every day, even though he knew nothing about goalkeeping. My success wouldn't have been possible without the great group of teammates around me as well. Thank you to all my teammates for pushing me to be the best. One particular, Gina, who was not just a teammate, but also a college roommate and a friend for life. Thank you for always having my back. To my family, you've all been my backbone. Thank you to my mom for always making sure I was at practice and games and being my biggest cheerleader. You gave up so much of your time to support all your children. My aunt and uncle, AM and UD, for driving countless miles with my mom to places like Kenosha, Wisconsin, just to be sure I had someone in the stands cheering for me. My brothers Stephen and Ori, my sister Alina, and cousins Matt and Mike. Thank you for always supporting me and encouraging me that I could do anything. To my husband Jack, thank you for choosing to go through this life with me. As you said this morning, it's been an amazing last 2 years. And last but certainly not least, or I'd never hear the end of it, I have to give a shout out to my son, Caden. Thank you for molding me into the person I am today. I know you weren't around to see Mom play, but just know that everything I've done since you were born was to try to set you up to be as successful as possible in life. I hope I've taught you that it's never too late to finish something that you set out to do, even if it happens 16 years later and you get your degree. I hope you always have your love of sports and competition, but never lose your loving and caring spirit, and you'll go so far in life. Mom and Dad will always be there cheering you on along the way. Thank you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be with you to celebrate the achievements of this incredible group who played a significant role in writing the pages of NKU athletics history. Congratulations to each of you on this special day. Nearly 15 years ago, I was a freshman at NKU and David was a sophomore. We became fast friends that semester, and David has been like a brother to me ever since. I could rattle off all of his stats and achievements, but you can easily look those up for a snapshot of who David was as a competitor. Today, I think it's most important to provide a glimpse into David as a person and a friend. David's favorite quote is from a movie, and of all of the great and quotable golf movies like Tin Cup, Caddyshack, and Happy Gilmore, you'll be surprised to learn that David's favorite is from none other than A League of Their Own. In the movie, Tom Hanks says, "It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it, and that's what the hard is what makes it great." Undoubtedly, David had what it took to tackle the hard in golf. You have to, or you wouldn't be able to overcome the elements of the spring and fall seasons, as you can see outside right now, to have a golf stat win percentage of 82% over all of your opponents, and that includes 2 national tournament fields. This was the best in NKU program history. To figure out what qualities helped David reach those heights, I took some time to reach out to others in our Norse family. Former athletic director Jane Myers said, "I am most impressed with him as a person. David quietly displayed a strength and confidence that is not arrogant, but personable. Many young men who have accomplished much less have a tendency to get caught up in their successes. David is a first-class young man, and we were proud to have him represent NKU." Another friend and former teammate, Mike Kessling, said, quote, "David is quite deserving of the Hall of Fame. He's the most humble person I've ever met while still being a fierce competitor. I've always envied his golf game. Despite his ugly swing, he was extremely effective. I'm proud to call him my friend and teammate." Coach Landrum went on to say that David was a great competitor, one who truly understood how to play the game. He was a great leader on and off the course, and because of these qualities, he's currently the best male golfer in NKU's school history. It was an honor to be his coach. Are all of you seeing a pattern here? Because I am. One more example for good measure is from another former teammate, Brandon Parsons. He said, quote, "When I think about David, I'm reminded about all of the time that we spent together in the cave." And for those of you who may not know or remember, the cave was that old weight room in Regents Hall. Parsons went on to say that everywhere, David always had such a powerful energy, much like a strong tree in a storm. He instills confidence in everyone's life that he touches. The consistency in these remarks and reflections proves that David has everything it takes to tackle the hard in life too. In the span of 15 years, our friendship has shifted from taking classes and going to golf practice to graduations, to connecting between cross-country moves, to experiencing loss and grief, career changes, and a myriad of everything in between. David is one of those steadfast friends who I know I can always turn to. What truly motivates David in life is his family, specifically providing for his wife Natalie and his sweet girls. They are his compass in life. I couldn't fully prepare for the speech today, though, without talking to David's parents, Brad and Vivian. Vivian wrote, "Every time I hear Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw, I think of David. His integrity is unquestionable, and this award also brings to light all that he represents as a person, not just a golfer. David had a golf club in his hands by the age of 2. His grandfather loved golf, and David loved Grandpa, and so it began. Everyone thinks golf is an individual sport, but David always had the team sport in mind when he played." Vivian's email notes continued to say, "You know, David has lived in Charlevoix for almost 15 years, and people still stop and ask us how he is. I think that speaks highly of the mark he's left on the people in his life." Vivian also shared in her email that quote, "Brad just keeps saying, 'Tell Alicia I'm so proud of him.' I will leave you all with this. Congratulations, David. We're all so proud of you too.
Good afternoon, everybody. I wasn't expecting quite that emotional there, Alicia. Shoot, I got me there. Just give me a sec. First, I just want to say congratulations to all the other inductees. The list of accomplishments you all have is quite tremendous and something I'm very proud and honored to be a part of that. When Jeff came out and gave me the news, I was taken back a little bit. I said, "Are you sure?" And he, of course, gave me the line and said, "Yeah, I don't know how it happened either. The committee just, said, we're going to put you in." So kind of set me back at ease, and it took a while to sink in, but something I'm real proud of to this day, and I will continue to be proud of for the rest of my life. I need to thank a few people for coming today. My parents came down from Michigan. I had an uncle in from Pennsylvania. Got some of the former student athletes I was fortunate enough to coach. They came and surprised me, so that was great. And of course, my teammates also. Coach and Becky Landrum, thank you for being here as well. So I have so many great memories from NKU. And a lot of people ask, what was your best playing moment or your best time on the course and off the course? And I don't really remember too many of those, actually. And I know Michael Kessler would be shocked to hear. I can't even tell you the scores I shot when I won some of the tournaments, or the team won, I don't remember. Back in the day, I could tell you every shot, every club that I hit and everyone else hit on the course that day. Alicia knows that's true too. So, but things I do remember are the time I spent with the teammates and coaches on the van rides and the hotel rooms. One instance in particular, Jonathan and Michael are both sitting over there. I walked into the room one day and I see Michael pick up a full-size mattress and he hurls it on Jonathan and then starts bouncing up and down on it. I mean, those two are always roughhousing, but that's the kind of stuff I remember. And another time, I'll never let Jonathan live this one down, and Becky will like this one too. So our senior year, Michael wakes me up. It's 11 o'clock at night. We're supposed to wake up and play 36 holes the next morning. Wakes me up at 11, says, hey man, just like that. There's something wrong with Jonathan. He's in a lot of pain. What do you think we should do? So I get up and I'm like, okay. He's keeled over on the bed, says he's got a lot of pain. He thinks his appendix may have burst, right? I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty serious. We should probably call someone. So I called Becky. She gets the ambulance over there. We're staying in these cabins out in the middle of nowhere. And the ambulance gets there, checks Jonathan out. He's feeling a little better by this time. But they look him over, and Becky says, we should probably take him to the hospital just to make sure there's nothing wrong. So Jonathan rides in the ambulance. Becky and I go in. The other guys went to got some sleep. We had a big day the next day. So 2 hours later, the doctor comes in, tests look fine. Jonathan's feeling better. We're like, that's good news. He says, I think it was just indigestion. So we're like, really, Jonathan? We're doing this whole thing? So we get back to 2 hours of sleep, woke up, played 36 the next day, and it's good times. But there's many, many more stories. I know I've been asked to keep it short, so I won't keep going on. But I need to thank my parents first and foremost for giving me all the opportunities they gave me. I wouldn't be here today without them. I want to thank NKU and Coach Landon for recruiting me and giving me the opportunity to play at NKU and represent the Norse. It's been a true honor and something I hope to continue to do someday. And by being an alum, I want to support the future athletes as well. Finally, I'll just wrap it up by saying, and I have to say this because my wife and 2 daughters are here. NKU was one of the best choices I've ever made. I met my wife Natalie at the end of my sophomore season. We didn't start dating until my junior year, right? So, but anyway, we're married now, have 2 beautiful daughters, Ava and Olivia, and I think we got some future cheerleaders for the Norse. So, with that being said, I'll let you all go, and I hope you have a great rest of the afternoon, and thanks again for the honor.
afternoon. It is really nice to be here this afternoon, especially it's some of the former coaches and former athletes are here, and then also some coaches who still are here after I had retired. It's just been a nice homecoming to actually listen to the student athletes that have been inducted, but there are so many other former student athletes here. And if you haven't noticed one thing, this program has been about people. And the other piece of it is most of our student athletes, and I was telling them today, people, when I would go to a national convention, they would say, how come you're all so successful? And I'm like, we feast off of the greater Cincinnati area. They love sports in this area, and kids in our area don't like to go away, so they ended up staying close to home. And it just was like a convolution of things. So it's just a really unique situation, and I hope it continues. And I think it has. It has. Okay, congratulations to all the inductees. Your student athlete careers were outstanding, and it was a privilege to watch you as you competed and represented NKU. You should be proud of what you accomplished during your careers. Thank you. You are the best of the best. Former Texas Governor Ann Richards, defining leadership. Leadership is like an abominable snowman. You can't see it, but you know it's there by its footprints. Liz Holmes Hart, throughout her NKU academic, athletic playing, and coaching careers, has demonstrated this type of leadership. Liz has been associated with NKU athletics for 15 years. 4 as a student athlete, and that's why she's getting inducted. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. 2 years as an assistant coach, 1 year as an interim head coach, and now 8 years as the head coach in volleyball. Liz has taken advantage of her opportunities at NKU and quietly has placed her footprints on the volleyball program. As an undergraduate student, Liz excelled, graduated magna cum laude, earned GLVC All-Academic Team 4 years in a row, was the GLVC Scholar Athlete of the Year in volleyball in 2007, and then also earned the COSIDA Academic All-District 4 Academic Award. She received a highly selective NCAA postgraduate scholarship and graduated with a master's degree in school counseling. As a student athlete, Liz excelled. She led her team to 4 winning seasons and an NCAA tournament appearance, and received many numerous awards. During her playing career as a middle hitter and blocker, Liz was named the 2004 GLVC Freshman of the Year, earned GLVC All-Conference 4 times in a row, named American Volleyball Coaches Association All-Region 3 times. In 2005 and 2006, Liz was named ABCA All-America Honorable Mention. In 2007, this list is incredible, she was named ABCA National Player of the Week, GLVC Player of the Year, Great Lakes Region Player of the Year, and First Team All-America selection. Liz is the only player in NKU history to be named All-America 3 times. She earned 1 more award. In 2008, she was named an NCAA Top 30 Woman of the Year recipient. Liz stands as NKU's all-time career leader in kills. And if you don't know what a kill is, it's when the ball hits the floor on the other side of the net. And ranks in the top 10 in 4 other categories. Liz received the NKU Marjorie Rouse Athlete of Distinction Award at the completion of her playing career, given annually to the athletics program top female student athlete. During her 15-year career, the volleyball program had 12 winning seasons, which is incredible considering NKU transitioned to NCAA Division I at a recruiting disadvantage because of no access to conference or NCAA postseason play. During her coaching career, Liz's footprints continue to be planted.
This past season, the team finished 21-10, second place in the Horizon League, and qualified for the National Invitational Volleyball Championship. Liz is the daughter of Stephanie and Tom Holmes. They supported and provided opportunities for Liz without being nuts in the stands. They actually were pleasant to be around. Sorry if I offended any parents. Because of their support, Liz has been very successful. She's intelligent, and she has a very strong work ethic. Liz has always been very grounded in spite of all of her personal success. She is the ultimate team player. She wanted the team to win. It was never about her. Her passion consistently has been she cares deeply about the success of others. She had left many footprints on her teammates, the NKU athletics program, and its student athletes. She is the abominable snow woman. It is with the highest honor to introduce Liz to the NKU David Lee Holt Athletics Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I'm very honored and excited to be here today, and I want to congratulate all the other inductees. I would also like to start by saying thank you to Jane Meyer for not only introducing me today, but all the support that you've provided me and many student athletes here at NKU. I feel very lucky to be mentored by you, and I think you're an outstanding leader and role model, so thank you for your guidance, and thank you for everything you've done for NKU. I came here in 2004, and I had no idea what to expect. I was kind of your typical freshman, just trying to figure out life. And one of the things that kind of came to me really quickly was how supportive the athletic department in the university was. And little did I know that I'd still be here 15 years later, but it's because this place feels like home. And it feels like home because of all the great people here. So thank you for everything you do. I want to thank the administration, the coaches, the athletic trainers, everyone that's had an impact on me and all the other student athletes in helping us be successful on and off the court. I also want to thank my family. I've been really fortunate to come from a family that's very supportive, that has attended matches, taken a genuine interest in my career and my life, so thank you for being here today. I'd like to thank my parents for all of their support. They've just unconditionally supported me no matter what the situation was, and they came to all my matches, home and away. But more importantly, I appreciate them listening, providing advice, and always keeping things in perspective. I wasn't the greatest at losing, and sometimes needed things to be put in perspective. It's something I value a lot today, so thank you. And lastly, I'd like to thank my husband and my children for their continued support. My husband still provides me advice and clarity and really pushes me to be the best that I can be. So thank you for your support. With that, I feel like I get to have the greatest job in the world, and that's coaching volleyball at my alma mater and instilling many of the values that you have instilled in me into my players. So thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon and congratulations to all of our inductees. Today, I'm very honored to be in front of all you guys. It is unbelievable what it means to me. I went to school with some of you guys. I've looked up to some of you guys and worked with many of you for years. I'm very proud and honored to be in this situation. And I'd like to thank Jane Meyer and Todd Aslan for giving me a chance to be here. And I'm, again, so honored to be here. And thank you guys very much. Nathan Andrew Jones epitomizes what it means to be a Norse. He's the most genuine, humble man that you could ever meet. Just a few quick stories about that. Nate would come back every year to work out with our pitchers. You know, we toss in the gym, you know, share stories, give advice, share advice. And the guy just signed, you know, a multi-million-dollar contract, and he walks in with a Carhartt, you know, Carhartt sweatshirt, Carhartt hat, and you know, just some Nike shoes and some starter shorts. You know, like I said, the guy just signed a multi-million-dollar deal. He's got Nike money, you know, and he just comes in as is. And that's really is the best way to describe Nate. He's just a regular old dude. Just excited, you know, excited to be doing what he's doing, and he always wants to have a good time. Okay, so in 2005 is when Nate and I first met. This is when Todd, you know, took a chance on Nate and took a chance on myself. This is the first year I coached, and it was Nate's freshman year. We knew we had something special when we got Nate, just a tall string bean kid from Pendleton County, basically with a lightning bolt for an arm. We knew he had a lightning bolt for an arm, but he couldn't hit the broadside of the barn. So, you know, we'd put him in games, and sometimes he'd be blowing people away. Sometimes, again, we'd have to get him out very quickly. So in the 2006 season, we sat Nate down and had a pretty good talk with him. He and I talk about this story all the time. We said, Nate, if we're going to be good, a lot of it's going to rest on your shoulders. So at that time, Nate being the blue collar guy that he is, he came to me and said, we got to get this right. So from that point on, you know, in August when we go to school, at 7 a.m. every day, we're in Regents Hall working on his mechanics. Okay, and for those of you who remember, I know Todd will remember, when speaking on his mechanics, when he debuted facing the Texas Rangers, Earl Hershiser was doing the game. And I'm sitting there watching, glued to the TV. I'm sure Todd's glued to the TV. We're texting, calling each other. And Earl Hershiser goes, well, I think he must have been a catcher back in the day. I'm like, oh boy, that's why right there. He thinks he feels like a catcher. So, to go back to 2005, 2005, we knew we had something special. So when it gets to that 2007 season, after we had already done all that hard work, Nate's getting a lot of attention from Major League Scouts. So we went down to, he gets a call, and we go down to Memphis, Tennessee, and work out for the St. Louis Cardinals. Nate goes down there now. Most of you probably haven't been to a workout, but there's guys running around everywhere, very talented people. So Nate goes down there, we stay in a hotel, gets up, works out, everything goes good. So we're on our way back to Pendleton County, basically, or here, actually. We get a call from his manager, Joe Speed, and says, hey Nate, you know, I know you just threw yesterday, but do you think you could throw in front of the White Sox tomorrow? So he kind of looks at me and like, hell, why not? All right, so we get up here to Bill Acre Field, and there's like 8 guys for the Chicago White Sox. Usually you get a scout or 2, but I believe the director of player development was there, Doug Lauman, all the guys that had watched him. And so we got 7 guys there, and his agent. And so every time that we would throw a bullpen, the last few pitches, I said, Nate, try to knock down the catcher. Obviously, he throws really hard. So we're in the workout for the Chicago White Sox, and you know, he's throwing. He throws about 7, 8 pitches, and he's feeling good. And I got the radar gun up, 95, 96, 97, and so Doug Loudon says, "Hey, all right, that's enough." So Nate turns around to him and says, "Hey, can I throw one more? I'm just going to try to knock down the catcher." And I thought that was a great story to share with you guys. Just basically say who he is. Just a blue collar dude, just like I said, getting up there, trying to have fun, and that's the same exact thing he does today. Like I said, he optimizes, in my mind, what it means to be a Norse. Like everybody's set up here, this is basically a family. Like I went to school with Liz 15 years ago. I've been around for 18 years, and it just means so much to me to be able to present Nate for you guys here today. So he's not able to be here today, and I have to give him crap because he gets to give his speech in a closet in Arizona. While I'm up here in front of you guys in the freezing cold with nerves. So, with that being said, we're going to run a video. And check out Nate.
First off, I would like to congratulate the other members being inducted to the Northern Kentucky University Hall of Fame today. This is something that we all should be proud of and thankful for. Not only does this emphasize what you did for NKU on the athletic side, but also maybe even more how you impacted the community that surrounds us during and after your playing years at NKU. So again, congratulations on being inducted. Secondly, I would like to apologize that I'm on a video screen in front of you and not personally there today. The conflict in scheduling was just not going to work out for my family and I to be there. Thirdly, I would like to apologize for Dizzy's introduction. No, I'm kidding, Diz. I know it came from the heart, and that's all that matters. Love you, buddy. Next, I would like to take a second and look around and for us to recognize how many people were involved in making this event happen. I'm sure everything there is top-notch, just like every other event that has NKU's name attached to it. So thank you to everyone involved in putting this event together, and especially Ken Botoff and Jeff Baldwin for making this special circumstances work here today. As I stand here and reflect about the time I spent on the college grounds as a student athlete, all I can do is smile. This place helped shape me into the man I am today. This place prepared me for responsibility beyond myself, where my actions not only affected myself personally, but it affected the team that I was going to battle with each and every game. Life lessons that I learned at NKU that I still carry with me today. I experienced coaches that didn't give up on me. I'm fortunate enough that they are there today and still coaching for the NKU baseball team, Coach Todd Aslan and Coach Dizzy Payton. And I imagine everyone there has Google, and so you can look back at my beginning years at NKU, and well, they just weren't good. But these two gentlemen saw something in me that I didn't believe I had. Through 7 a.m. bullpens and dry work before classes, to staying late after practices to make sure I got my conditioning in up that stupid hill above center field, to waiting back for me after the bus had left for a road trip just so I can attend my grandpa's funeral, to being one of the first few people I called to let them know it was all worth it because I had just gotten drafted, to letting them know it was definitely 100% worth it now because I had just made the major league club. So to say I owe a whole lot to these two men is an understatement. They are a part of my journey that led me to be who I am today, and a big reason why I'm being inducted into the Northern Kentucky University Hall of Fame. So thank you, Coach Aslan and Dizzy. So I look back and realize what all NKU really did for me, and this moment right here, right now, will be one I never forget.
Since Nate's not able to be here today, he's in Arizona in the warmth, we're going to present the award to his mom and dad.
I'm Rose's husband of almost 8 years. I first met Rose her freshman year of college at 5 a.m. practice in Regents Hall. I was one of the student athletic trainers assigned to the softball team that year. I quickly saw the type of athlete in person Rose was by being with the team on a daily basis. Student athletes have a daily schedule, jumping from weightlifting to class to practice into study tables. Leaves little wiggle room for much else. That does not include traveling to 2 different schools to play doubleheaders on Saturday and Sunday. I'm proud of Rose for accomplishing what she did while enduring a difficult schedule. Rose is in the top 10 of 8 out of 13 career batting records, such as 3rd all-time leader in RBIs, 6th all-time leader in hits, and my favorite, 5th all-time leader in home runs. During her freshman year, Rose broke the single-season career record and broke the career home run record her junior year. She was also a four-time academic All-American. She helped lead her team to a conference championship and two NCAA appearances. Rose was named Miss Norse and was the GLPC Scholar Athlete of the Year. She was also named to the All-Midwest Region team and GLPC teams during her career and was awarded the NKU Thomas J. Kearns Career Achievement Award. Rose also participated in multiple charity events across the country, from creating training camps for the Special Olympics, volunteering in soup kitchens, or helping organize Kids Night Out. Rose loved helping others. Finally, Rose also excelled as a leader. Rose was NKU's Student Athlete Advisory Committee, or SAC, president and the GLVC SAC president. At the end of her sophomore year, Rose was chosen to represent NKU in the GLVC at the national level on the NCAA Student Athlete Advisory Committee. During her 3-year term on the NCAA SAC, Rose was the vice chair of the committee for a year and a half, and then the chair for the NCAA SAC for the remaining year. She took on the responsibility of being the voice for over 100,000 student athletes. She also traveled the nation to make sure student athletes understood proposed legislation from the NCAA, and she shared the student athletes' perspective at the NCAA conventions. In closing, I want to share 2 examples of how Rose's softball reputation follows her to this day. The first is when she plays co-ed softball. It only takes one at bat for the other team's outfielders to realize scooting in on her was a mistake. The second is how my family and friends recruit her before me in any games. They know that she can compete and she likes to win. Rose's softball career has shaped her into the fine woman, educator, wife, and mother she is today. I speak for everyone here for her today, that we love you and are very proud of you and your achievements. Congrats.
I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional. I'm not pregnant, but I had 3 kids, so my hormones are quite different now. First, I wanted to, as everybody else has done, congratulate the other Hall of Famers here today. I am standing among some amazing individuals, and a thank you to the committee that helped decide to induct me today. First, my thank yous. My parents, thank you. You were at every game. You traveled the country with me. You spent tons of money on softball equipment and, like I said, going to Colorado, Florida, everywhere. That means more to me than you can imagine. My sister, who was 6 years younger than me and was dragged across the country to my tournaments. I know you didn't complain about it, at least to me, thank you. But she wound up being our team's best photographer. I will never forget that. To my grandma, who also went to every game. I heard that she was quite the home run hitter back in her day, so I'd like to think that genetically I got some of your talent. My husband and my family, my kids. Tony was there from day one, literally day one, watching. Quickly, start dating after that. My coaches, my uncle, who was unable to be here today, was my very first coach. Cliff was my travel ball coach, really pushed me to be the athlete I was, and of course, Coach Stewart and Chip Gregg, who really made me who I am as an athlete. And then finally, my teammates. They are my sisters for life. We have a bond that cannot be broken, no matter how far we are from each other now. And then, I'm going to try to keep this short, but I can talk at length. To NKU staff and athletics, I owe you a ton. Before college, I was a quiet, shy individual that lacked confidence. And I would not be able to give a presentation at all because I'd physically get sick in the bathroom. So, and I'm a teacher now. So, but NKU staff saw things in me that I didn't see in myself. and they brought out the best in me. So whether it was being a 4-year starter, and believe me, athletically, or my sophomore year when I was battling mononucleosis, when I was in ICU for a week and had knee surgery, and I learned to persevere and have grit. To be on the NCAA committee when athletic staff approached me and thought that I had leadership qualities, which I never thought I had because I barely talked as is. And to have people like Jane Meyer, who were the athletic director at the time, to be one of the first and only female athletic administrators at the time is an inspiration and really guided me to be a better leader. I knew when I walked on NKU that this was home. It was meant to be. And I have to say, I'm going to cut it short because I'm going to cry. To the NKU staff, please keep doing what you're doing. The student athletes may not realize it, but you're helping them be better athletes, but more importantly, better people. So keep doing what you're doing. They may not appreciate it now, but they will. And NKU is my home. I will forever be a Norse, so thank you.
Hello again. I'm very excited to introduce Jenna Schreiber. She's one of the best volleyball programs that we've had in our program. I had the opportunity to coach Jenna from 2009 to 2012. And when I think of Jenna, I always think of her passion to win. Jenna is hands down one of the most competitive players that I've ever coached. And you can see by her list of accomplishments. Jenna came in her freshman year and started running a 5-1 offense and ran that offense for 4 years. She won over 90 matches in her career, and she had 5,120 assists, which is still our all-time career leader in assists. One of my favorite stories that I use to talk about Jenna and competitiveness is Jenna's junior year. We were at this crossover tournament. We were having a great season. We were ranked 13th in the country, and we're playing number 11 Ferris State. And it's a really close match going back and forth. And unfortunately, one of our top players went down. She was a redshirt middle hitter. She was in her senior year, and she tore her ACL. And anytime there's an injury, and there's an injury to a key player, everyone kind of tightens up and becomes sad, and you kind of rethink, what are we gonna do? And we put in this freshman who had never played a game, but she's like stretching over the sidelines, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's ready, right? But she had a great attitude. But Jenna did a great job of leading the team. She completely changed her game plan. Jenna always, as a setter, she sets the ball to the hitters. And at that point, she switched a little bit, and she started attacking the ball and dumping it and taking the ball over on 2, which was not typically how Jenna played. She usually would set her teammates. Jenna went on to have 17 kills in that match with a .471 hitting percentage. So if you don't know volleyball, it's just really, really good. And we went on to win the 5th set, 19-17, on none other than a kill by Jenna Schreiber. And it was huge. And then we went on that weekend and we beat number 20 Northern Michigan, and we had a great year. And Jenna went on to become a 3rd-team All-American that year. Going into Jenna's senior year, our institution decided to reclassify to Division I and join the Atlantic Sun Conference. And while that's very exciting news for everyone, that also is challenging. You start to kind of second guess yourself, do we belong? You have a little bit of doubt, and you have to rechange your viewpoints and the goals that you set, because the goals we had were to try to get to the Final Four, or Nancy, you win a national championship. That's not the same goals that you have Division I. And a lot of our student athletes had to change how they looked at Division I. And I thought Jenna and the 6 seniors we had that year did a great job of kind of refocusing everything and wanting to make a big impact on our volleyball program and in Division I. So we had a great season. We went on to set an NCAA record for the best start of any reclassifying school. We finished 3rd in the Atlantic Sun Conference, and Jenna was NKU's first team all-conference nominee in Division I. But more importantly, I think was the message that they sent to all of our sports and all of our future volleyball players that we had coming in, that we do belong in Division I and we can be successful. So Jenna, thank you for everything that you've done for our volleyball program. Thank you for being an outstanding role model and great representation of the university.
Thank you. It is an honor for me to have this opportunity as an inductee into the NKU Athletics Hall of Fame. Congrats to all my fellow inductees on your accomplishments and your awesome and outstanding careers at NKU. As a young girl, my love and passion for NKU started very young. My dad was and is still a proud alumni of NKU, and starting from when I was 5 years old, he would take me to all the men's basketball games. So my love and my passion started at a very young age. My dad and I are still currently season ticket holders to the men's basketball games, where we still get to share that experience with each other. I went to the NKU volleyball camp every year, starting probably in first grade all the way up through high school. So it was a great opportunity to get on campus and get to know Carlos and Liz and the NKU athletic department. By the time I was 10 years old, I was definitely bleeding black and gold. My love and passion for the game continued to grow, and that is a special thanks to my amazing club coach, Zeke. He saw my potential and demanded a hard work ethic to help me pursue my dreams. So thank you. My dream since I was a little girl finally came true when I had the privilege to be an NKU student athlete. So thank you to my presenter and coach, Liz. She was my assistant coach for 2 years, and then she was the intern my junior year, and then finally got the opportunity to be the head coach my senior year. So thank you for instilling those leadership qualities in me and continuing to push me to be a better player and especially a better person. You're truly inspiring and a role model to me, and I know your student athletes now, you're also inspiring and a role model. Your love for NKU volleyball is special, and NKU athletics, it's awesome that you have an incredible volleyball coach in your athletic program. Thank you, NKU Athletics, for giving me a forever family. I think listening to the other inductees tonight that it's seen and it's present that we are a family and we all come back because we have a love for our university. So it is definitely a forever family. And the demands of being an NKU student athlete has made me a better person today. It shaped me into the teacher and coach that I want to pursue to be and continue my passion for the game. Finally, I would like to thank my family, my aunts, uncles, cousins, my 2 brothers, my sister-in-law, and my mom and dad. The years of support and love you have shown me is incredible. My parents, they never missed a game and were away. Sorry, I'm not pregnant and I'm still in Mom and Dad, you are my rock, and I believe that I am who I am today because of you. I truly cannot thank you enough. To my extended family, my future family, and especially my fiance, thank you for continuing to support me and my passion for volleyball. I cannot wait to see what the future of NKU athletics holds. All I know is the Norths are on the rise. Thank you, and North up.
Well, let's give one last round of applause for all the It always is special to hear the stories, certainly the highlights of careers and the statistics, but at the end of the day, the unique thing about Hall of Fames and universities and athletic programs is that we all say, you know, we're a family. We all want to have that family feel. I think each Hall of Fame that I've been a part of here, and this really does go back to I think how Jane and the university and everyone has worked in athletics, and certainly I think you can hear it from the student athletes that are inducted. There is a real feel here as a family and involvement, and it's always special for me during times like this to see that connection. It goes back to Norse nuptials. We've got a little bit of that here in the Hall of Fame, right? So it really does. It's a family, it's a community, and we certainly recognize it each and every year. So thank you to all of you who came today to recognize either a family member, a teammate, a friend, a coach who has been inducted into the David Lee Holt Hall of Fame. A wonderful day. Drive safely, drive careful going home. It might be a little slippery out there. But we would ask each of the inductees, please come up here for some group photos and opportunities to get pictures with you as a group as well with your awards. So congratulations once again. Welcome to a special family. To all of the Hall of Fame members, congratulations.